Hello guys and welcome to a brand new video. Today I'm here with the Eminence in Shadow episode number 6 reaction. Alright, the previous episode, oh boy, we had one of the most greatest battles. Even though the battle was really one-sided, still the whole atomic was just one of the coolest things. And oh boy, like they did that scene very well, like in the whole sound department and everything, the way it kind of changed and everything. It was just really well done. And yeah, that happened, while obviously the whole problem with Alexia, Xenon, and what's her name, Iris, I think. Yeah, that whole thing came to a close. Xenon is gone completely, like he's gone. Sid took care of him, and now Alexia is has been found by Iris and Alexia kind of talked properly, and like they kind of hugged and everything. So we can kind of say that Alexia has accepted her sword style and sword fighting method, and she has been like, yeah, like I can move forward. And using this sword power, she saw Sid fighting Xenon using that sword play. So she probably realized that, yeah, it's not it doesn't matter. A sword play as simple as that can most definitely be that beautiful and that strong. I just have to keep going at it. So here she has accepted it, and she's going to continue doing it. Now that was that section. We kind of also got to see the battle between the Shadow Garden and that monster thing. Iris fought, but Iris was actually fighting to kill it, while the Shadow Garden came in and Alpha decided to, I'm not sure what attack that was. She kind of used an attack which did something to it, and a girl came out of the monster. And I don't know what happened to the girl. Did she take her with her or something? I'm not sure. But either way, that happened. And we kind of saw like a necklace in it is like a picture. And I realized from the comment that it's the same girl picture that we saw in, it was episode 1 or 2. That guy who was fighting, it was 2, I think, episode 2. He had the same necklace with the same picture. So it's his daughter. So yeah, that's another thing I realized later on after reading the comments. Someone told me in the comments. And yeah, so there you go. And in the end, we see a few other things happen as well. Alexia tells Sid to continue the relationship, but he's like, nope. And also Shadow Garden, someone is impersonating Shadow Garden. And then in the end, we get to see another pink-haired girl like bumps into Sid, and she flowers start blooming in her head. Let's see what happens. Excuse me. All right, this is episode number 6. Let us begin. I'll be putting in subtitles and the timer here. Sync it to whichever is your preference, and let's get started. All right, here's the countdown. 3, 2, 1, go. Oh, what's happening? Oh, is this it's an impersonator. Yep, they're impersonating them and ruining their reputation. What the hell? Why is he talking like that? Right, that's weird. Hmm. Hmm. All right. Oh yeah, his friends. Hmm. All right. uh. Ooh. A business place of business. Oh. Oh. All right. Oh. All right. He wants to do some shopping. All right. Oh. This is Iris and this girl. We saw her before in the previous episode. Ah. Okay. Brilliant mind, Sherry Barnett. So she's a genius. Uh, okay. Oh, this is her father. Hmm. Assistant principal. Okay. All right. New Order of Knights. Oh, these two. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, you are like. All right. So 80 minutes. Is this a wait like that? Oh, wow. Oh, the whole Shadow Garden impersonator. Yeah, true. Like it's like. Ooh. Uh, who is this? What in the hell is that? Wow, this is like a modern world. What is? Yeah, like what is? Yeah. Wait a minute. Whoa, what? What? Wait, is this part of the Shadow Garden? Yeah. Oh, these are part of the Shadow Garden. Oh, okay, there you go. Okay. That's why this is so modern and like this. Wow. Is she clumsy or something? I think so. Yep. Yeah. As soon as I zoomed in on the. Oh my god. Oh. Wow. Look at him. His throne. Wow. What? Wait, what is that? What is that? Uh, oh wow. That's great. Oh, oh my god. Yo. Sid, you Sid, you're thinking about funds? No more. He just wanted to do a little bit shopping. Hmm. Who and Oh, those two. No, no, come on, Sid. No. Stop. Stop. Oh god. Who? Numbers? New. No, numbers. What is it like another organization or something? Part of. Yo, this guy. What? Okay. He just nabbed a coin. Come on, you know that. Wow, he is convinced. Oh, whoa, what's? Oh, he heard something. Hmm. Wow. Oh, thank you. Uh, wow, what an epic scene. Oh god, stop. It's not Alexia. Oh my god, Alexia is fighting. Okay. Sid, please don't make this mistake. I feel like he's going to. Alright, I'm sure he understood now. There you go. He understood. Oh, she defeated him. Alright. Oh. Oh god. Oh my god. Okay, there's too many of them. Yeah. Are they being hypnotized or something? I don't know. Like, why are they talking like this? Alright, Sid is here. Oh, okay. They realized it's a real one. So, just wants to be in the shadows. Oh boy, he's going to give one of his one-liners, I feel like. Okay, no, never mind. I thought he was going to give one of his one-liners. Like something like, oh, I'm fighting against myself, or something like that. Oh boy. Oh, okay, here we go. Whoa, who's this? Oh, okay. Oh, it's new. New. Damn. Oh, wait, she just changed like that. Okay. Puppet, there you go. Like I said, it looked as if they're hypnotized or something. Quantum. Hmm. Okay, nice. And that got, yeah. Hmm. 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 Both, yeah. I thought he was going to say something like that. Oh no, yo, you guys! He gave you chocolates, and this is how you repay him? Oh god. Oh my god. Natural born mob character. Ooh. Um. What? Keeping the chocolate. Yeah, he brought it for her, so you know. He's like, nope, I'm not going to do this. Oh, he no, he's still determined. Ah, boy. Portrait. Mother. Well. Yeah. Oh, she doesn't know what a chocolate is. Yeah. Why is he coughing like that? Um, I don't. Yeah. Okay. Hmm. I don't know why, but I have a weird feeling about this guy. Oh, he's sick. Oh, he. Oh boy, he knew her mother. Okay. Yeah, this guy. I don't know why, but he is giving some red flags. Like, is when he was introduced, he was like, "Oh yeah, you do it." You know, like he kind of encouraged her to go do the research. Now again, he's kind of stressing on the fact that, oh, you need to find out how does the research going. Who knows? Maybe I'm being a bit too paranoid. but I feel like there's something going on. Like he actually wants to know what that thing is. Like he has some interest himself in it. Okay, is that it? Yeah, that is it. Okay, so this episode, we resume this episode with a little scene where we see this person impersonating the Shadow Garden, and this guy's like, "Oh, we are the Shadow Garden," and like, kind of speaking like that. Now, because he was speaking in this weird robotic way, I thought maybe this guy is either like hypnotized or something like that is going on. But later on, we kind of get to know that they're like puppets or something. I'll go to that part and read that section again. But either way, these guys are not normal. So it's like this guy just came in and just killed this random guy and left by muttering the same words, "We are the Shadow Garden, we are the Shadow Garden," like that. And yeah. So after that, we see Sid's friends. Uh, okay, Sid's friends, they are like asking, wait a minute, just a second. His friends, their names are you know what, can I find it out? What's their names? Just a minute. uh like I think like their names are, is it potato or something like that? Like just a minute. Cannot find it, but anyways, I think it's something like that. Their name is something like that, isn't it? Like potato, something like that. Anyways, I can't find it now. I'll later on try to check it out what their names actually are. Now they're like, oh, like what happened with the whole Alexia situation. And as always, they're like kind of asking him like, oh, tell me what happened. Did you like do something? And Sid is like, oh no, it's nothing. Like like we just broke up, that's it. And they're like, all right, you know what, you come with me. Like maybe we're going to like go to like a real good place. A real good place we're going to go to. And they're like, there's nothing shady, like just some shopping. Some new stuff has come out, like like a place where there's like some really good stuff like chocolates and everything. So like let's go, and this might uh, help us like get some girls. And Sid was like, all right, Sid was thinking like, okay, you know what, I am curious what this world calls chocolate, so let's go and see. Now okay, after that we cut to that scene where we get to see, I think her name is Sherry, this girl. And she and her dad is like the, I think like the principal or something, that something like that they said, assistant principal or something like that they said. And obviously Iris and Alexia is also there. So they bring up the whole conversation about the artifact. So this artifact has been found from that incident. So it's this artifact is something related to the cult of Diablos, and they want to know what this thing is. Sherry is one of the biggest, greatest researchers of this place, of this world, I'm guessing, and that's why they're like, yeah, you are the one of the brightest minds here. So we're going to ask you for your help, like so. Yeah, can you please help us decipher this? So at first she was hesitating, but here we see the principal, the assistant principal, yeah, which is also her dad. say something like, oh, like, have faith in yourself, like, you can do it. Now, the reason why I'm a little bit suspicious about this guy is the way he smiles. Like, who smiles like that? Like, only a villain smiles like that. Like, he, like, you see him, like, he kind of like petting her head, like, patting her head, and then he moves like this. His glasses starts shining. There's an ominous shadow falling on his face, and he's smiling, and he's saying, "Oh, if anyone can do this, you can." No, that's a villain smile. I'm a little bit suspicious of this guy. I don't know. I might be proven completely wrong by the end, but I feel like there's something going on. Like, what I feel like is that this guy is somehow related to the cult of Diablos, and I don't know. He's trying to decipher that thing, and since his daughter can do it, he's encouraging her to decipher it. And I don't know. Later on, probably he's going to use it for, like, to get power or something, or I am not sure what he's going to do. But this is just a speculation. Let's see how much it is, because yeah, that smile was suspicious. The way he smiled at her. Oh, okay. Now, Iris is like, okay, you guys don't have to think about security, because, like, we have, I think the new order of the knights, they're called the Crimson Knights, isn't it? I doubt this will be necessary, but I'll just assign Crimson Order. Okay, the Crimson Order to keep an watch on you. So obviously the Crimson Order is those two guys, I'm guessing, who she said, like, I trust you guys the most, so you're going to be my, like, like a new group. So yeah, this is the new order of the knights that she established. So these two will be keeping an eye on Cherry, and, like, see that her research is going properly. Now Alexia is like, oh, I also want to get involved. At first, obviously, Iris was like, no, like, like, you can, but then she kind of stopped, and she looked at her, and then she was like, all right, you know what, fine, but be sure to not put yourself in danger. Now, as we know, like, from the previous episodes, we can kind of guess that she, obviously, Iris is a lot concerned about Alexia. But I feel like that's scene with, like, in the previous episode, where she found her, and, like, she acknowledged, like, she got acknowledged by her, and, like, Alexia called her elder sister, after a very long time. I think that probably changed, and she probably started thinking, like, ah, you know what, let her participate. She wants to participate, let her do it. Like, how long will I be will I be protecting her? She's old enough to take care of her on her own. So I feel like she probably thought that, and that's why she changed her mind. Like, if this was the previous Iris, she probably would have, like, like, refused and be like, no, like, it's very dangerous, you should not, or something like that, she would have said. But now, like, she's accepting. Now, after that, we get to see Sid is in the town, the place where his friends were like, oh, this is the place where like, chocolates and everything are being sold. And we see there's, like, a huge line, 80 minutes line, and his friend starts talking about the killer, how there's, like, a rumors of a killer going around killing people. And one of his friends were like, oh, like, it's fine, like, we ourselves are dark knights, like, and there's, like, it's okay, like, I don't doubt there'll be a problem. Now Sid recognizes everything from here, from something that he had in his world. Like, there's, like, like showcases of, like, mannequins with the clothes were, like, being worn. Like, obviously this is the real modern world, like, that's how it goes. And, like, there's, like, a department store and everything that the way they're selling everything, is very, like, reminiscent of his world. Now here I was kind of thinking, I was like, wait a minute, so as Sid realizes that these things are something that was in my world, I was thinking, okay, so maybe this is something, like, similar to Overlord, like, where, like, there are other people as well from the other world who came here and introduced these things. I was kind of thinking of it in that manner. I was like, okay, maybe it's something like that. Maybe some other characters are also here, some characters who also got isekai'd here. But then I was proven wrong later on because we get to know it's something that Gamma did. But either way, he's seeing all of this, and while this is happening, one of the woman, like one of the clerks, she comes and she's like, oh, like, we need to do a survey, so can you please come with me? Now his friends were like, oh, we can also go, and she's like, no, I only need one person. Now at this point, like, looking at her, like, I was like, this is the thing, first of all, there was so many things that kind of surprised me. First is like her appearance. The way she looked awfully similar to all these girls from the Shadow Garden. I don't know why, but there was something that made me thought that, oh, maybe this girl is from the Shadow Garden. But then I was like, if she is from the Shadow Garden, why is Sid not saying something? I was like, yeah, so maybe this girl is not from the Shadow. Like, I genuinely thought at first that she's from the Shadow Garden, but then I saw Sid not saying anything. And I was like, oh, maybe not. Maybe I'm mistaken. Maybe she's not from the Shadow Garden. Maybe she's just a normal, like a normal person. So, and another thing was, I kind of, like, looked, and I was like surprised. You see that scene where we get into the department store? There's a huge, I don't know what that is. It's a statue, I think, with all the girls, all the Shadow Garden girls. I think those are the Shadow Garden girls there, with this one person on the top. I'm pretty sure that's Sid, that statue. And I'm like, wait a minute, what is going on here? Why is a statue like this in this place? And it makes so much sense now. It's because it's Gamma's department store. That's why she probably made this whole thing. And oh god, so there you go. Now so we get in, and Sid is kind of looking at everything, and he's like, oh my god, this is like a whole department store. And he's curious. He's like, who made this? Like, and I'm quite curious. And then the girl is taking him somewhere, and he's like, what about the survey? Where are you taking me? And now at this point, I was pretty convinced that, oh, this girl is from the Shadow Garden, but I was still confused as to why Sid is unable to recognize her. Now, but then in the end, I realized why he's not able to recognize her, because obviously she is a new member, and like, Gamma's the one who recruited her. That's why obviously Sid doesn't know. Like, Sid didn't even know that this place is owned by Gamma. So there you go. Like, it's so funny that Sid basically, like, kind of rescued all of them, and he talked about the whole cult of Diablos, this and that, like just made the whole scenario. And then everyone was like, oh, like, Lord Kageno, we need to go. We need to go to different parts of the world and keep an eye on all the cult of Diablos and everything. Obviously, they did not say that. They said that we need to leave. Now, Sid started misunderstanding, and he was like, oh, they realized my my lies, and they just left me. But they actually went outside, like, throughout the world. They're like all just scattered around, doing each of, like, different things. For example, Gamma here has, like, made this whole department store, like, from the stories that she used to hear from Sid, that Sid used to talk about when she was a child. Sid used to talk about these things. So she made, like, a whole department store like this, and started making chocolates and all, and has made this, like, into, like, a huge business. While I'm pretty sure all the other girls are probably doing their own other things, and Sid doesn't even know what is going on. He has no clue what they're doing at all. Like, that's the thing. Like, he doesn't even know that he is, like, like that organization has this much amount of funds. Like, up until a few days ago, he thought that, oh, we don't have any funds at all. But here Gamma is, like, raking in money like this, all for this Shadow Garden. Like, it's all funds for it. And oh god. Now Sid comes in, and Sid is like, enters the place, and he sees, like, everyone just like, bowing, and then he looks at the person in front, and it's Gamma, and then he recognizes, he's like, oh, it's you, Gamma, so this is your place. And Gamma is like, oh, like it's all because of you, like, Lord Kageno, because you shared all the, like, the knowledge with me. And Sid remembers that when they were children, he used to talk about all of this. He was like, do you want power? Okay. He said that for chocolate, I'd say if you take bitter beans and throw a ton of sugar at them, it's delicious once hardened. That's all he said. And she made like this whole thing from all of that. Is it our brains? Oh boy. But obviously Gamma's like, now here Sid says that obviously Gamma is one of the smartest. She is the smartest out of all the seven shadows, but she is very bad at physical, like, stuff. Like, she just trips and starts bleeding automatically. So she's basically the brains of this whole thing. So now I love how Sid just goes and sits on the throne, and Gamma's just looking at him like, like, they're all like, like bright eyed, like, smiley face, eyes sparkling. And Sid in his head, Sid is like, oh, like, I feel like I've actually become a true shadow, and the eminence in the shadow I've become. And yeah. Now, okay, what was that? Was that light? He threw something in the air and he was like, oh, this is a reward. Threw something and it started like, like sparkling, and like light started falling down. Was that light? Was that he did? And Gamma is like, oh, it's that holy light that fell on me when you saved me from my fate. It's the light of life. Now, we still don't know which condition she was in, what was troubling her, how was she saved, but we kind of get like a brief glimpse here. Okay, so, and Shadow's like, just smug face, and then they bring out the money. They're like, we have approximately 1 billion zenny at our immediate disposal. And Sid is like, what? And he's like, Gamma's like, is it not enough? And she's like, he's like, it's okay. And he's just looking at the money, and oh boy. And after that, we can see obviously Gamma just again misinterpreting things. She's like, oh, you must be here because you wanted to, like, like investigate about the thing that's happening, the whole Shadow Garden, the people impersonating us, how dare they? So that's why you're investigating this, aren't you? And it is like, yeah, I'm definitely for that here. And then Sid makes one of the biggest misunderstandings. He's like, wait a minute, someone is actually impersonating the Shadow Garden and killing people. And I don't know why he made that connection, but he made some weird connection with Alexia, because Alexia slashed him open. And he's like, oh, so Alexia is the one who's killing Abel. I'm like, why? How is this connection even possible? Oh boy. But anyways, he's like, oh, I already have the answer. And as always, Gamma's like, oh, like Sasuga Kageno-sama. He's already gone to the bottom of this, and he knows everything. And okay, so when now he was going to leave, and then suddenly Gamma introduces someone, that new girl that we saw. The newest of the numbers. Now, okay, what is the numbers? Is it like another organization in the Shadow Garden, like a group or something? I think maybe it's something like that, because we can see that there's like the seven of them, the seven of the girls. But even though, like, they are seven, there are other members as well in the Shadow Garden. So there's like the organization is very huge. So all of them, I'm guessing, is like, like maybe grouped up into smaller groups within their huge group. Like, otherwise it will be difficult to kind of like, like, what can I say, like, control them, or like, tell them what to do, and like, properly lead them. So I'm guessing there might be like, smaller groups within this huge organization. So maybe numbers is one of that. Let me know in the comments if it's not a spoiler. Now, Okay. Now this another thing I've always wondered. Like I'm still not sure, but as far as I've seen, all of the characters in the Shadow Garden, as except obviously Kageno, are females. Is there a particular reason for that? Because Sid is not the one who's Sid is not the one who is recruiting them. The girls who are recruiting them are the seven girls, I'm guessing. Mostly I'm guessing maybe Gamma, Alpha, Delta, these girls are most probably the ones who are recruiting them. So why is it all women? Like, is there like any particular reason for that? Like, I do wonder. But anyways, okay. Now after that, okay, they introduce new, and there is like, okay, I'll call you if I need you. And he, okay, this part is just so funny. He stops and he's like, oh, I would like to buy some chocolate, the cheapest one, if you please. And his the thing that he uses, he he nabs one gold coin. I wonder what that one gold coin is valued at. Like, there's like a 1 billion zenny over there. You know what? Let me see. Approximately, I would guess there would be, I feel like, how many? At least 200 coins in here. So these coins. So if if the valuation of all of these coins were like total in total were like 1 billion zenny, I would guess that one coin would be quite expensive. Yeah, it will be quite expensive. I'm pretty sure it would be like something like how much? Like 1 billion. 1 billion means 100 million. 1 million. Like 500,000 or something. Like if there's like 200 coins in here and everything, like all the whole total valuation is like 1 billion, then it would, one coin would actually be something close to 500,000 zenny or something like that. That's crazy. Like that one coin is going to is going to going to help him a lot for like a long amount of time. Anyways, okay, so and he's like, oh, you're giving this to me for the free, the chocolates. And he's like, ha 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 ha. Even Gamma starts laughing. I have to say, I really love the person voice acting Sid. It's amazing. It's like the voice acting is just too good. Especially in situations and scenes like this. Okay, now after that we see they're actually late for curfew, and Sid and all of them are like running, going towards the school, the place. Now here we see that Sid again thinking that, oh, Alexia is killing people. And then suddenly he hears the clash of swords, and he stops and he's like, okay, I need to go there, but how am I going to trick these guys? And then he's like, oh, I'm my stomach, I need to go to the toilet, but there's no toilet here, so I need to go here this time. I need to poop here. And like this whole scene is funny. They're like, oh, but this is outside. And he's like, yeah, I know it, but I have to do it. There's no other way. You guys go. I cannot hold any longer. And they're like, don't worry, Sid. Like, we will keep your secret. We won't tell anyone about your sacrifice. And he's like, yes, run, guys. Run away. And they start crying and then leave. And Sid is smiling. And then he's like, all right, let's go and stop Alexia. Now, obviously, we can see that Alexia. Now, here I was thinking, like, okay, like he's definitely going to realize that it's not Alexia, because it's not. But then I see that Alexia is the one who was fighting the Shadow Garden, the impersonator. And I'm like, oh no, maybe this is going to get more complicated. But no, he realizes very soon that, what I was thinking was that, oh, maybe he's going to. he's going to join the other guy and be like, Alexia, stop, don't do this, or something like that. Then he's going to make a mistake. But he actually was standing up on top and actually was listening on them. And thank God that Alexia said something like, oh, like, are you from the Shadow Garden? Like, why are you doing this? Is it like, because Shadow told you to? And obviously, like, by this conversation, he realized very soon. And the other guy was like, oh, we are from the Shadow Garden. He realized that the person who's killing others is not Alexia, it's them. And thank God he realized that, because I really thought that he was actually going to like jump down and stand beside the other guy and be like, stop, Alexia, like, you don't do this anymore, or something like that he would say. So yeah, thankfully the misunderstanding got cleared up before he did something weird. But either way, he realized it. And okay, now here we see that Alexia defeated one of them, but then, like, 3 or 4 more of them starts popping up. Like, obviously it's way difficult to take care of like so many people at the same time, and she wasn't able to properly. She was being cornered, and in comes Sid, like, and saves her. Okay, just a minute. Okay, so wait a minute. Okay, so I was thinking that maybe all of them were being hypnotized or something, but then I realized like a few of them were not. Like one or two of them, their eyes were glowing. So I'm guessing those guys were somehow being controlled, while the other guys, they're like genuinely people who are like in control of their body. So that's what's going on. And Sid comes down, and Sid is like, "Oh, you guys are impersonating us, like, and you're going to pay for that." And obviously, after realizing this is the original Sid, they run away. And Sid was going, and Alexia asks her that, oh, what are you doing this for? Who are you fighting against? And he doesn't say much. He's like, stay here, something like that he says. Yeah, Alexia asks him, what are you fighting against? Yeah, stay out of it, that's all he says, and leaves. And obviously, like, since Sid is following them, it's very easy. Like, he just quickly catches up to them, and one of the guys were cornered, and New comes in suddenly. That's New, isn't it? Yep, that's New. New comes in, and she's like, let me handle this. And I love, like, the way Shadow acts is so what can I say, like, yeah, it's really cool. He says that, don't mess it up, and just leave. Ah, oh boy. And now obviously this guy tries to attack New, but New just does one of the most fastest transformation scenes, like, it doesn't even take 1 second. She just transforms. And she's like, oh, I'm not as forgiving as Lord Shadow. Now after that, we get us to see a scene. Okay, you know what, I'm going to read this section. They talk about like puppets or something. Okay, I've lost contact with the puppet. There you go. And the 2 others. So the killer has gotten himself killed. So what do you do about it, Mr. Connor? For a moment, I kind of made a mistake here. Like, in my head, I heard this voice, this guy who was talking, who said like, oh, like, like the hunter became the hunted. Like, what are you going to do? That guy. And I don't know why, but I felt like his voice sounded a lot like that one of his friends, that friend, the blonde haired friend. I thought their voice sounded very similar. But then now I'm like, no, I'm realizing it's not the same, because the guy who does the blonde guy, like, his friend, is Kirito's voice actor, I think, as far as I could understand. While this guy, now the guy who's talking here, he's Bakugo's voice actor, I think. So yeah. And we see this guy, this knight guy, and he talks about, we've learned whereabouts of the item in question. I'm guessing the item is that thing, that artifact thing. So yeah, retrieving is our top priority. All right, now After that, we see Alexia talk to Iris and talk about how the Shadow Garden is not the one who's involved in it, and she's like, "Oh, they're impersonating them," and Iris is like, "Oh," and then she's like, "I also met one of the girls from the Shadow Garden. She called herself Alpha," and she kind of stops talking there, and then Alexia asks a question to her. She's like, "Oh, like, what do you think, this whole situation with the cult of Diablos and the Shadow Garden, who do you think are against us, and who are you going to fight against?" And she says like both. Now I was kind of real, I was thinking that yeah, she's probably going to say both, because obviously the cult of Diablos, we all know it is the bad organization, and the Shadow Garden as well. I feel like she was not going to let it go away, because like she said, she thinks that they are also the ones who are like trying to do something to this place. She said like, I can't let them just do anything in this city, just reign around freely. I can't let that happen. So both are our enemies. Now after that, oh my god. After that, the next day we see these two guys, they told everyone, or spread the rumors about the whole poop thing. And Kyle was just standing there. Okay. Now there's some they kind of divert the whole thing, and they're like, oh, like the whole chocolate situation. What happened? And and we can see the chocolate is there in his backpack, and they're like, all right, we're going to give these chocolates to the girls. And obviously the blonde haired guy, he's like, I have a chocolate, like just stammering and everything. And and the girl is just looking at him like, what the hell is this? And she's also an upper class woman. Now her fiance comes in, and he's like, oh, look at her, like, this is what you're trying to do, huh? Come on, let's have a little talk, over there in that corner. The girl is like, oh, give me the chocolate. Oh boy. And seeing this, the other guy is like, oh, we're done here, and then, okay, this guy, okay, his name is, I think this is where he tells his name. Just a sec. Hyoro or Skell. Hyoro. Okay, and that's his name, Skell. Now, oh god, this guy's another, thing, like another specimen. He's like he has like this whole book of, what, oh boy, like a full-on stalker. And he's like, okay, I'm going to do it like this. Okay, his name is Potato. Jaga Imo. Jaga Imo means potato, and I am Potato. Is that his name? Kel and Po, yeah. Wait, so what is the last name of Skell? Like, I can understand that this guy's name is Po and the last name is Tato, which means potato, or Jaga Imo, and his name is Yoro, which is Skell, and I'm guessing there's like a last name which kind of something like that. That's clever. His name is Potato. Oh god. Now he tries to go to another girl, and she just freaks out. She's like, oh my god, this guy's the stalker. And now Sid is like, all right, you know what, the first girl that I saw, I'm just going to give it to her. And we see, what's her name, Sherry. Yeah, Sherry is trying to decipher the code, and she talks about how this code is the one that her mother was researching. Now I yeah, there's a lot of things that is actually giving like some really bad vibes. First of all, she talks about her mother. Now, I'm my guess would be her mother is not alive anymore, because that guy has taken adopted her, and that guy knew her mother. I don't know why, but I feel like the Like this is the thing, like, and I'm being a little, I feel like I'm being a little bit extra paranoid, but there's a scenario that's playing in my head where I feel as if his dad, there's the principal, is maybe a, like, like a person from the Diablo's cult, and he knew his mom, her mom, and we know that her mom is dead. So maybe they had, like, like she was also researching the same thing. So maybe something happened and his mother died or something because of some situation, and that is the reason why, like, since her mom is dead, she could not continue the research. He decided to adopt this girl, and now he's telling this girl to do the research which his mother wasn't able to complete, for so that later on, after she deciphers the whole thing, she can grab it or something. I don't know. Like, this is the scenario that's playing in my head. I might be completely wrong, I might be extra paranoid, but that's the feeling I'm getting. Let's see. Okay, now she is like, over there. Now Sid just sees her, and Sid is like, oh, here we go, and gives her the chocolate and just leaves. And she's confused. She's like, what the hell is that guy from the previous day? Now later we see in her room, she's eating the chocolate and she's kind of trying to find her decipher the thing, and she's like, what is this? She cannot, like, she doesn't know what it is, because obviously this is like a new thing, and I doubt she goes to these type of, like, department stores and stuff. I'm pretty sure she's the type of person who just is, like, always in her room just studying and doing research and everything. So I doubt she knows anything about. That's why she was so confused. She was like, what is this thing? And then her dad comes in and he's like, oh, this is a chocolate, like, this is a new thing that has come out. And then he says, like, he kind of praises her, and he says, like, oh, like, who gave it to you? And she's like, oh, a boy gave it. And he says, like, oh, maybe that boy likes you, like, what answer will you give him? And starts talking about, like, like, all the time, like, spending time on research is not also okay. She should also do other normal stuff, like hang out with people. Now, yeah, you know what, maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm being extra paranoid, I don't know. like like it does seem he genuinely cares for her, so maybe I'm wrong. Like I said, like, I'm kind of suspicious of this guy because the way he smiled in that previous scene is really weird. Like, only villains smile like that. But maybe I'm being too harsh on him, maybe I'm being extra paranoid and suspecting him. Anyways, let's see, because it does seem he's genuinely concerned about her. So yeah. Anyways, now he starts coughing and he's like, oh, like, like, and I don't know what that was. Probably like he's sick or something, because her, like, Shay talks about, oh, like, you should go to the doctor. And here we get to know that she's adopted, and he says that, hey, this is the part, he says, I'm so lucky to have you as a daughter. And she says, I'm the lucky one. If you hadn't adopted me when you did. Okay, so, and then he said, your mother was also an excellent researcher. Thank you, father. And that's where it ends. So there you go. Like, I'm getting mixed vibes about this guy. I'm really not sure. It does seem he's genuinely concerned about her, but at the same time, I feel like there's something going on with this guy, like some kind of a secret there is related to him. Anyways, let's wait and watch. Let's see what happens. So there you go. That is it. That is my reaction to episode number 6 of The Eminence in Shadow. So yeah, if you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to press the like button, subscribe if you're new to the channel, or you haven't subscribed. Comment down below anything you want to say, anything you want to let me know, and I'll check them out. And yeah, that is it. Thank you for watching. I will see you guys next week with another episode of The Eminence in Shadow. Until then, goodbye and have a nice day.